a bad movie beatdown. Now I admit, I really like the X-Men film series. Even the third one, believe it or not, mostly because it has some flashes of inspired genius here and there. I haven't read the comics, but they were just enjoyable enough movies with some interesting social subtext. However, what is noticeable in the series is the increasing emphasis on Logan, aka Wolverine, played by Hugh Jackman. I think this is because of two reasons. The first is that Wolverine is an extremely popular character in the comic books, and his role kept getting expanded because of this. And secondly, because of Hugh Jackman, recently voted as the world's sexiest man. As Jackman became more popular, the more the role grew. So it was no surprise then that Fox announced it would be doing a spin-off prequel that focused on Wolverine's past. Personally, I thought it was a stupid idea, since it takes away the mystery surrounding the character, and because Logan doesn't remember any of the events in the movie, it would make it pointless. There's also the fact it could very easily turn into Hannibal Rising. So, who do we have to blame for this origin movie? Tom Rothman, the idiot at Fox who gave us the AVP series, a PG-13 Die Hard, and many more boneheaded decisions. But let's not forget there's Hugh Jackman, who's very passionate about the character, so he won't let any old crap settle for the script. I mean, he didn't just star in the movie, he also produced it. It felt like Wolverine had got a little soft by the end of X-Men 3, and I wanted to take it back to that badass quality. Let's see how much that quote will come back and bite him in the arse. There's also a change in director to Gavin Hood, an Academy Award winner for Tetsuoti, but also followed it up with the Oscar-bait drama Rendition. He's a dramatic director, not an action one, and the fact that he hasn't done an action movie before really shows. So our film starts off with young James Logan and young Victor Creed, aka Sabretooth. Logan is ill. His dad comes in to check on him, only to find that Victor's father is making a disturbance downstairs. Logan runs out to discover his father is dead. No! Not the character we only saw on screen for 20 seconds! Why? Wow, this kid really can't act. So Wolverine sprouts bone claws, even though his x-rays in the first movie show his claws were mechanical. Series continuity has already gotten the hell out of here.
He wasn't your father, son.
No! I just killed my actual father, but he was only on screen for 10 seconds, so this has no dramatic effect whatsoever. Victor and Logan run away together, and we go into the opening title sequence, which follows them as they go through various wars together. This is a cool opening sequence, but there's one big problem: opening credits. The other X-Men movies didn't have opening credits, and here it feels intrusive and has a bad habit of freeze framing in the most stupid of places. Setting the originality stakes high, the film shoots the Omaha beach landing in exactly the same way as it was in Saving Private Ryan. Misguided homage or hackdom? Take your pick. So one of the most interesting parts of Wolverine's life glossed over in the opening titles, our main story begins with Logan and Victor, now played by Hugh Jackman and Liev Schreiber, captive as Major Stryker, played by Danny Houston, pays a visit. Stryker wants them to join a special team of mutants who go out on missions. We cut to that mission where we meet our other mutants. We have Fred Dukes, aka Blob, who has superhuman strength and endurance. Agent Zero, super marksman. Bolt, who controls electricity, played by Dominic Monaghan. Wraith, who has teleportation, played by will.i.am of the Black Eyed Peas. And Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool, played by Ryan Reynolds, who ends up seeing the movie in just 3 minutes.
Oh, you gonna puke?
If we were meant to fly, we'd grow wings. Would you like a bucket?
Wolverine gets airsick. Ladies and gentlemen, the pussification has begun. We follow them to Nigeria, where they infiltrate a diamond smuggling operation. First, Agent Zero fires his guns. Gun Qatar? That's not a real superpower. You just learnt maths from Preston and Equilibrium. Fred is then called upon to take out a tank. Do diamond smuggling operations normally use tanks? As they go up in the lift, Bolt manages to override the system's shutdown. Wade takes out the machine gun armed men with just guitar swords thanks to the power of being freaky and awesome, I mean superhuman agility. Finally, Wraith disarms the smuggler by teleporting behind him. So what do Logan and Victor do on this mission? Nothing! They stand around doing jack shit! Wolverine's a real animal, alright. The mission was apparently to go after a meteorite that contains a substance that Stryker is very interested in. And no, it is not the symbiote from Spider-Man 3. Stryker's team goes straight to the source and violence soon breaks out, which Logan dislikes. You know, for a supposedly violent man, Logan does go out of his way to try and avoid it. He actively tries to stop his brother from doing it several times. I mean, he should be acting more like his brother. Wolverine decides he's had enough of hurting innocent people and leaves the team.
Jimmy! We can't just let you walk away. Jimmy! Jimmy!
You know what's the easiest way to make a badass lose his credibility instantly? Keep referring to him as Jimmy like a 5-year-old. So, just to recap, in roughly the first 15 minutes, Wolverine has killed his adoptive and real fathers, ran away from home, fought in several wars, joined Stryker and left Stryker. Don't you think this is a little bit rushed? I mean, each of these events could be really interesting to explore, but the movie glosses over them like they're not that important. So we move now to 6 years later, where Wolverine has a quiet new life with a schoolteacher named Kayla Fox, working as a lumberjack. It appears Stryker's team has split up because Bolt is now a carny. Anyway, Bolt is just here to get killed by Victor. Stryker comes to visit Logan to warn him that he might be in danger.
Who the hell is this? Smells like government.
Sounds like bad dialogue. Wolverine turns down Stryker flat and continues with his life as normal.
Why is he bothering you after all these years?
Because I'm the best there is at what I do. But what I do best isn't very nice.
Movie, just because you keep telling us something does not make it so. What's that crucial cinematic rule again? Oh right, show don't tell. Someone has parked their car on the bridge and this annoys Logan.
Just move your truck so we can go by.
Trying to have a conversation there, right? You start something, you better be ready to finish it.
Hey guys, take it easy.
Boyfriend's got a big mouth.
Big temper too, so please let us pass.
How'd you do that?
Female powers of persuasion, it's a gift.
Foreshadowing! I mean, seriously, this is about as sus as a brick to the face. That night, Kayla tells Logan a little story.
Why is the moon so lonely? Because she used to have a lover. His name was Kwekawatsu, and they lived in the spirit world together.
That's a true story. Right.
Trickster wanted the moon for himself, so he told Kwekawatsu that the moon had asked for flowers. He told him to come to our world and pick her some wild roses.
Am I watching on deadly ground again?
Kwekawatsu didn't know that once you leave the spirit world, you can never go back. And every night, he looks up in the sky and sees the moon and howls her name.
Cuckoo Kachu got screwed.
Kwekawatsu means the Wolverine.
Are you f***ing kidding me? What the hell is that? I thought he was called Wolverine because he was really violent and animalistic. But as it turns out, it's because Logan was a romantic softie. Ah, bless you, Jimmy. The following day, Victor comes and kills Kayla. Cue the cheesy cliche. Determined to avenge her death, Logan and Victor have a fight in a bar in which Victor absolutely decimates Logan. At the hospital, Stryker once again offers assistance.
I can give you the tools to defeat him.
You point me in the right direction, you get the hell out of my way.
And bam! Right to the procedure. It's not ironic that this prequel designed to explore the character of Wolverine has no character development whatsoever.
We're going to make you indestructible. But first, we're going to have to destroy you.
I'm sorry, could you run that by me again?
We're going to make you indestructible. But first, we're going to have to destroy you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the worst line of dialogue in a 2009 movie. I mean, it takes a special kind of anti-talent to make something that stupid. It's nothing short of breathtaking.
I can't put Victor down myself, Logan. To kill him, you're going to have to embrace the other side. Become the animal.
What other side? What animal?
Today we're going to create Weapon X.
X. Roman numeral 10.
The filmmakers really think their audience is that stupid. That's just plain insulting. Logan undergoes the adamantium bonding process, which is nowhere near as traumatic as the flashbacks in the previous X-Men movies would indicate. In fact, it seems like it's over relatively quickly.
Why is he thrashing like that?
He feels pain, just like the rest of us. But anesthesia won't work on him. That's why he had to volunteer.
Why? Logan's been knocked out loads of times in the film series. They could have knocked him out and strapped him to the table while he was still unconscious. The only reason he had to volunteer is because Stryker said so in X-Men 2. I love this completely false bit of tension, even though this is a prequel, and therefore he would have to survive. Of course, he doesn't die, and Stryker and Agent Zero start making plans.
Bonding works. We'll use his DNA for the 11.
Erase his memory.
I think he heard you.
He managed to hear them underwater from a distance. I know Logan has super hearing, but that's just... It is also extremely impressive how the bonding procedure managed to make his claws slimmer, sharper, and overall more blade-like than they were before. And this is why bone claws was a stupid idea in the first place. So Wolverine goes into the Berserker Rage. Nice continuity, given a shot to the head knocked out Logan cold in X2. Wolverine takes out some scientists and makes his escape that looks nothing like the flashback in X-Men 2. Why carve an X into the door? Just open the thing, like in X-Men 2. I mean, I hate to be a broken record, but seriously. There, Hugh Jackman diving down a waterfall naked. Are you happy now, women? Logan hides in a barn which belongs to the Kents from Superman, the Hudsons. By the way, I actually had to look that up in the credits, because in the film their name is never referred to. He gets discovered, and the Hudsons do what any normal person would do if they found a naked man on their property. Take them in and put them in his son's clothes. Well, of course. Wow, these special effects look really bad. The claws in the other movies look way more convincing. Here, they look like they've been thrown in at the last minute.
You right in there?
Yeah, I'm fine.
The body horror, all played for laughs.
Why is the moon so lonely?
Why?
Because she used to have a lover.
It was stupid enough the first time. Stop milking it for pathos. The following morning, Logan has a talk.
You look like a man fixing to do a bad thing. You know what happens to men who go looking for blood?
What?
They find it.
You know, I'm reminded of another crappy line.
Do you know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else.
Yep, that's the one. Isn't it interesting how Wolverine is told that he can't solve all his problems with violence? How does he solve his problems from this point? With violence, of course! But the Hudsons are assassinated by Agent Zero, who gives the order to blow up the barn. Why he shot the Hudsons when he could have outright bombed the place is beyond me. Oh, right, so Logan has ample time to escape. We then get a completely boring chase sequence as Zero chases Logan in a helicopter. The guy with gun guitar or the guy who's impervious to bullets? I wonder who's gonna win! What a surprise! Logan tells Stryker that he will have revenge before blowing up Zero in the helicopter. I love the shot of him walking in front of the explosion. Add a guitar riff and it becomes a cheesy 90s thriller. Watch. In fact, that's just what this movie is, isn't it? It's like a Steven Seagal movie with mutants. That's bad.
Zero never stood a chance. The only thing that'll take him down is an adamantium bullet.
Then why didn't you give them to him, you stupid bastards?
Sir.
Yes?
The young mutant you've been looking for, we found him.
And who is it? It's Cyclops. Yes, really.
Summers, sit up and take off those glasses.
I have a headache.
Then you can wear them in detention after school while you write out this conjugation 100 times.
So he's been going to his classes with sunglasses on and only his Spanish teacher notices. Logan tells Wraith, now running a gym, about his situation. Wraith tells him that Fred might know some information about where Stryker is. Unfortunately, Fred has put on a bit of weight. My God, it's Fat Bastard!
Hey, Fat, Fred.
Oh, Jesus.
Listen, I ain't leaving here till you tell me where Victor is. So come on, bub, for old time's sake, huh?
Did you just call me... Blob?
Do the two words even sound remotely alike? To make this even dumber, we get a completely pointless boxing match between Blob and Logan. Eventually, and I do mean eventually, Logan wins out over Blob by threatening him with his claws. Like he should have done in the first place. Elsewhere, Victor captures Cyclops at the school for Stryker, but that's a shocking twist if you have the intelligence of X. And in another continuity mishap, Cyclops' beams have turned into heat vision instead of concussive blast. They didn't put very much research at all into this, did they?
Where's Victor?
With Stryker on the island.
You know what? Victor will be with Stryker.
You didn't know that?
He must have been the only person who didn't work that out. Fred tells him that there is a person who can lead him to the island, who is the only person to have escaped.
His name was Remy LeBeau. He was a street hustler from New Orleans. The guards at the prison called him Gambit because he kept taking all their money at poker. That's all I know.
Is it normal for the guards to play with the inmates, especially the ones who can energize objects into weapons? No wonder he escaped. So Logan and Wraith rush off to the total fan service cameo of Gambit. The escaped Gambit, of course, keeps a low profile by being the complete centre of attention. Wraith looks out in the street and finds Victor, who has just killed Fred. The pair have a fight scene because we haven't had one of those in 2 minutes, and Victor kills Wraith and takes his power.
Ooh. I can feel your spine, Johnny boy. That's funny. Never knew you had one.
Was that supposed to imply that Wraith was weak-willed? I didn't get that impression. Or any other impression for that matter. Logan wants Gambit to take him to Stryker's base, but Gambit disagrees and smacks him through a wall, into the path of Victor. Logan knocks out Gambit, and it's time to fight again. Having wall-to-wall action scenes, which this has degenerated into, is just boring. It just becomes a monotonous blur. Suddenly, Gambit's on top of a building, leaping through the air and getting between the fight between the two people he was running away from. What? He was on the ground 2 seconds ago, and now he's changed places completely. This makes no sense! Victor runs away, so we get a fight now between Logan and Gambit. Gambit climbs a fire escape, but Logan brings him down by slicing the ladder? I might as well just say it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this movie's third act. A parallel dimension where the rules of logic, continuity and storytelling no longer exist. Prepare yourself for some of the stupidest things you've ever seen in a Hollywood blockbuster. So we cut to Stryker's what the hell?
We know about your son, Bill.
Damn right you do, he's a block of ice in the same room. Also, isn't Jason a little bit young to come back from Xavier's school all bitter and angry? So Stryker's turning Wade into Weapon XI, that's Roman numeral for 11, and has stitched up his mouth. Yes, the Merc with a mouth is now the Merc without a mouth. I bet the Deadpool fans really love this movie.
You're too close to this. I'm shutting you down.
My son did bring the problem home for me. But I took an oath to protect the American people from every threat, both foreign and domestic.
What was the face the General just pulled? It looked like his own face or something. Gambit finally agrees to fly Logan to the island that Stryker is using, the 3 Mile Island. Oh, so it was Wolverine that caused the 3 Mile Island incident. Wait a tick, didn't that take place in 1979? There hasn't been very much period detail to show that. In fact, Agent Zero looks very modern for the period. And if the X-Men movies are in the near future, wouldn't that make Cyclops about 40? Logan jumps out of the plane in what looks like a PS2 cutscene. There he encounters Stryker.
Before I got you, I want to know why.
I needed your powers for the pool.
The what?
The mutant killer. Deadpool.
Really? Could we try making that reference any clunkier?
I've learned that nothing motivates the men in your family like revenge.
They gave me a shot of hydrochlorothiazide.
It reduces the heart rate so low it appears you flatline.
Kayla's mutation is tacto-hypnosis. She can influence people as long as she touches them. It was never real, my friend.
If she had hypnosis that worked on Logan, as implied by that clip, then why didn't she just tell him to go see Stryker, rather than having that elaborate ruse for several years? Oh, right, because the movie never made any f***ing sense to begin with.
The story you told me about the man who gets flowers for the moon, I had it backwards. I thought you were the moon and I was your Wolverine. But you're the trickster, aren't you?
Symbolism! As Logan walks away, Silver Fox tells Stryker to release her sister in exchange for working for him. Victor, who has been listening to this the whole time, also wants Stryker to put him through the bonding process. They realise they're being used, but Victor grabs Silver Fox's neck, which suddenly brings in Logan for another fight scene between the pair. Logan quickly knocks out Victor and discovers that Stryker has caged captive mutants. At Silver Fox's request, he slices through the locks, freeing them.
Activate Weapon 11.
The bonding process isn't complete.
Just do it.
He's going through the bonding process? Wouldn't he be strapped to the machine to do that? Does that seem familiar to anyone? That's right, it's uncannily similar to the entrance of Darth Maul from The Phantom Menace. Even the context is similar. Why anyone would want to plagiarise The Phantom Menace is beyond me, but quick! Get George Lucas's lawyers. He could make even more money. Yes, they've stuck katana blades in his arms. They're so long they almost touch the ground. He wouldn't be able to move his arms. Stryker controls Xi through a computer, using remarkably advanced technology for 1979. As Logan and Xi duke it out, Silver Fox leads the mutants with her sister Emma Frost. Snipers shoot at them, but Cyclops takes them out with his heat vision. Silver Fox tells the others to leave her behind, because it turns out she was hit. Back with Logan, the fight moves to the top of the cooling tower, where Logan gets help from an unexpected source.
Nobody kills you but me.
What an awful, awful cliche.
Left.
You can't see.
Trust me.
Yep, I'm sold. Let's follow the blind kid. Allow me to demonstrate what is wrong with this using a fork. You see where the problem might be? Logan jumps behind Xi as he's about to kill Victor and decapitates him. Xi falls down the tower, just like Darth Maul. Plagiarising the Phantom Menace twice? Have we really sunk this low? And somehow Xi's head is still firing lasers after it is separated from his body. Why? Because the plot says so!
This doesn't change anything between us, Victor. We're done.
We could never be done, Jimmy. We're brothers, and brothers look out for each other.
I will now morph into Tyler Mane, and act completely different to how I did before. Sort of like, Michael Myers. Logan falls down the tower and a big chunk is about to hit him, even though he is indestructible and has a healing factor, so he would be able to survive it. But here comes more fan bait as Gambit saves Logan.
You miss me.
And where was he in the middle of this? I'm guessing it was fixing his cane since it's now back in one piece. Stryker pulls out the adamantium bullets.
You can't stop him, even with that.
Correct.
His brain may heal, but his memories won't grow back.
How silly of me. Wolverine's amnesia wasn't caused by the trauma of the bonding procedure, no. It was caused by magic Deus Ex mission, I mean amnesia bullets.
Smithers used the amnesia ray.
You mean the revolver, sir?
Precisely.
Logan finds the wounded Silver Fox, but Stryker soon starts shooting at him. And the bullets manage to penetrate even though they're both made out of the same indestructible metal, so it'd be like bashing two rocks together. Which incidentally is far superior to this movie. Stryker goes to kill Kayla, but she uses her powers on him.
I should make you pull the trigger. Throw the gun away. Turn around. Walk until your feet bleed. And then keep walking.
Why didn't she tell him to turn himself in? So Stryker walks off and Silver Fox dies. It turns out that Cyclops was hearing, who else but Charles Xavier. And good God! What the hell happened to his face? When they said de-age him, don't take every crinkle out of his face. He looks more egg than man. So Xavier takes them all on his plane, and the more I think about it, the creepier it becomes. So after that bit of sequel baiting, we go back to actually resolving this piece of crap as Logan wakes up. Unfortunately, his memories have been erased.
Who are you?
I'm the guy who brought you here. Now we gotta go.
What's my name?
Your name is Logan. Do you know her? No.
It's all so sad because of the moon and shit, yeah? So Logan and Gambit part ways and the film ends as, wait a minute, what about Logan's jacket? The one in all three films. He lost his jacket at some point and he didn't retrieve it. And on that glaring continuity error, the movie ends, wait, there's more? Shit.
Colonel William Stryker, you're wanted for questioning in connection with the death of General Munson.
Killing a general does not allow you to see the president. Also, there was only one way off the 3 Mile Island, and that was the bridge with the emergency services going down it. So no one saw him walking away from the scene and stopped him? More? Yes, more fan service for Deadpool, as for some reason his head is still alive off his body. Ooh, I hope we have a spin-off where we can completely ruin this character again. I'm sad to say that the movie made lots of money at the box office, even if it did slightly perform under Fox's expectations. The movie was so successful that there are now several different X-Men related movies all being developed at the same time. We have X-Men Origins First Class, which now has a glimmer of hope given Bryan Singer's on board, a Magneto prequel that may or may not get made, a Deadpool movie that will be a reboot because they messed up here so badly, nice job of introducing him here then, and you guessed it, a Wolverine sequel set in Japan. It's actually the story he wanted to use for the first Wolverine film, but Fox head honcho Tom Rothman preferred to set the character up with an origin story first. Rothman! And I'm ashamed to say that the franchise will probably be milked until the udders run dry. I'm Matthew Buck, beating down bad movies everywhere.